Nikola Tesla is often called the Wizard of Electricity, a man whose imagination and inventions lit up the world in ways that people had only dreamed of before. He was born on a snowy night in 1856 in Smiljan, a small village in modern-day Croatia, where the winds whispered through mountains and rivers sparkled in the moonlight. Even as a child, Tesla was fascinated by the mysteries of nature, often staring at lightning storms for hours, imagining he could capture the energy in his hands. He had a mind that raced faster than the fastest horses in his village, thinking about machines, electricity, and inventions that no one had ever seen. Tesla loved to read and memorize entire books, soaking up knowledge like a sponge and imagining ways to use it to make the world brighter and better. As a boy, he built small mechanical devices, toys that moved on their own, and sometimes startled his family when sparks or tiny explosions popped unexpectedly. He became obsessed with electricity, fascinated by the crackle of sparks, the glow of lamps, and the invisible force that made motors and machines come alive. Tesla had a remarkable memory and could visualize entire machines in his mind, turning invisible blueprints into fully working inventions without ever touching a tool. He often dreamed of lighting entire cities with invisible energy, imagining towers sending power through the air like magic beams. Tesla's curiosity took him to the Polytechnic Institute in Austria, where he studied engineering and physics, excelling in math and electricity with a tireless determination. He imagined devices that would make communication instant across the globe, long before telephones or radios became common. Tesla's experiments were bold. He created sparks that danced across rooms, electricity that made bulbs glow without wires, and motors that ran on ideas as much as on power. He had strange habits, like working through the night, sleeping very little, and talking to pigeons as if they were tiny advisors for his inventions. Tesla invented alternating current, a system that could send electricity over long distances safely, solving one of the biggest problems of his time. He had a rivalry with Thomas Edison, who supported direct current, leading to the famous War of Currents, with sparks, demonstrations, and even public debates. Tesla's visions often seemed magical. He imagined wireless electricity, electric cars, and even energy beams that could protect nations from danger. He created the Tesla coil, a device that could produce enormous lightning-like sparks, filling rooms with electric arcs that danced like dragons of light. Tesla experimented with radio waves before most people had even heard the word radio, imagining that signals could travel invisibly through the air. He dreamed of sending messages, music, and even images across the world without a single wire, a vision that would later lead to modern wireless technology. Tesla's laboratory in New York was filled with glowing tubes, buzzing machines, whirling sparks, and humming motors, a place where electricity seemed alive. He amazed visitors by lighting bulbs without wires and creating mini lightning storms in the middle of the room, making them wonder if he was a scientist or a magician. Tesla often sketched inventions on scraps of paper, imagining turbines, generators, and devices that seemed impossible but worked perfectly in his mind. He was obsessed with numbers, patterns, and the hidden forces of nature, believing that the universe itself was made of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Tesla's mind raced so fast that he sometimes skipped meals, forgetting to eat while imagining new ways to bend electricity to his will. He dreamed of harnessing the energy of waterfalls, the sun, and even the earth itself to provide free power for everyone, imagining a world where darkness was banished. Tesla invented a system for hydroelectric power at Niagara Falls, showing that electricity could be generated from moving water sent far away to light cities. He was fascinated by resonance, imagining that even the earth itself could vibrate like a bell if struck in the right way. Tesla's ideas often seemed ahead of his time, like imagining devices that could transmit energy wirelessly or even machines that could communicate across continents. He worked tirelessly, drawing complicated machines entirely in his mind before building them in the lab, a skill that amazed every scientist who saw him. Tesla's experiments often involved sparks that leapt across rooms, motors that spun like whirling dancers, and lights that glowed like tiny suns floating in midair. He loved to explain his inventions with vivid, imaginative stories, comparing electricity to rivers of invisible magic flowing through the world. Tesla believed that science should improve life, imagining cities illuminated by glowing towers, trains powered silently by electricity, and machines that freed humans from hard labor. He dreamed of robots and automated machines long before the word robot existed, imagining intelligent devices serving humanity. Tesla was eccentric, walking around the city counting steps, caring deeply about pigeons, and wearing white gloves while working on delicate experiments. He often claimed that his mind was like a giant movie theater, projecting full inventions with moving parts in vivid detail before he built them. Tesla's alternating current system eventually became the standard, lighting homes and powering factories across the world, proving the genius of his vision. He experimented with wireless lamps, imagining a network of energy that could flow invisibly through the air, lighting the world without wires. Tesla's laboratory often sounded like a storm, with machines humming, sparks flying, and electricity dancing like tiny fire dragons across the ceiling. He dreamed of sending energy and information through the ionosphere, imagining a global wireless network long before the internet existed. Tesla was inspired by nature, studying lightning, waterfalls, and the patterns of the stars to guide his inventions. He believed the universe was full of energy waiting to be tapped, a hidden power flowing everywhere like a secret river beneath the ground. Tesla never stopped imagining, inventing, and experimenting, constantly dreaming of ways to make the world brighter, faster, and more magical. He invented remote-controlled boats, machines that could move without human touch, showing that the future of robotics and automation was already taking shape in his mind. Tesla collaborated with other scientists, but often pursued his own visions, sometimes clashing with business partners who didn't understand his genius. He imagined skyscrapers lit by wireless towers, entire cities illuminated by invisible currents flowing through the air like magic. Tesla loved dramatic demonstrations, filling rooms with arcs of electricity that crackled, hissed, and danced like wild lightning. He believed that energy could be free and limitless, envisioning a world where humans no longer had to pay for electricity or struggle in darkness. Tesla often stayed up all night, energized by ideas, drawing machines on scraps of paper, and testing inventions that would have scared or amazed most ordinary people. He was sometimes lonely, immersed in his visions, talking to himself or the pigeons in the park, imagining his ideas taking shape in the world. Tesla dreamed of harnessing cosmic energy, even imagining that the sun or other planets could provide power for Earth, a truly futuristic vision. He experimented with high-frequency currents, discovering effects that would one day lead to radios, X-rays, and wireless communication. Tesla's ideas sometimes seemed magical, like imagining energy beams that could light cities or even protect countries from threats. He designed turbines and generators that were more efficient than anyone had imagined, combining imagination with precise engineering. Tesla inspired countless inventors and scientists, showing that curiosity, creativity, and courage could change the world. He believed that imagination was more important than money, and that dreaming boldly was the first step toward real invention. Tesla's life was full of sparks, both literal and metaphorical, as he chased visions of a brighter, electrified future. He inspired people to look at the world differently, to see electricity as a flowing, magical force that could be shaped by human creativity. Tesla proved that one curious mind with imagination, determination, and knowledge could electrify the world in ways people had never dreamed possible. Even today, when we flip a light switch or charge a device, we are following the currents of Tesla's genius flowing invisibly around us. He showed that electricity was not just a tool, but a playground for the imagination, a bridge between science and wonder. Tesla dreamed, experimented, and imagined like no one else, creating machines that seemed to leap straight out of science fiction. He proved that curiosity, daring, and playful invention could illuminate the world, literally and figuratively. Nikola Tesla remains a shining example that creativity, intelligence, and a spark of imagination can light up the darkest corners of the universe.